Welcome to the Social Stack, your go-to channel for marketing tips based in technology for your real estate business. I'm Amy Stack, and today we're going to be talking about Instagram marketing strategies, again, specifically for real estate. We have a very special guest on. Miss Maria Pettit is here joining us from Ohio, and she will be talking about how her team, the Integrity Home Group, has really built a strong brand. Again, we'll focus on Instagram. She does a great job all across social media, but we're going to talk about that strong brand and how she's able to connect with people and actually build a strategy around it to get leads. So with that, Maria, why don't you take it away and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hey guys, I'm so excited to be here. I see some familiar faces. Welcome to Mastering Your Marketing. Thank you so much, Amy, for asking me to join in. This is like really a fun topic for me, so I love it. I'm going to be that girl also to piggyback on what Amy said. I'm an energy person, so I don't care where you are. Don't care what you look like. I'd love to see your face because I'm an energy person. I want to talk to you. I don't want to talk to a blank screen. Trust me, I'm that girl. Like I'm the one that has the bun in my hair and I'm like, nah, I don't want to be on camera. But I really want to make this super conversational for you guys. Because again, I could talk about this for hours, but I also want to make it super impactful for you. A little bit of background on me. I've actually been in real estate for 19 years. I worked for primarily for a large national home builder for about 12 years. I was a regional sales manager for them, overseeing the sales operations in Northeast Ohio. In my 12-year tenure there, I sold a little over 3,000 homes and covered like all of Northeast Ohio and growing and building new communities. So that was fun. After that, then I went to, I was recruited to go to Keller Williams and become a team leader in the Cleveland market here. I grew that to being a top 10 market center here in Cleveland. And then pandemic happened. I somehow made my way to Chicago, relaunched my real estate business. Like it was just kind of bananas the last couple of years. So one thing that I know that I can share with you is that I've grown multiple businesses, understanding the purpose behind marketing and what it needs to look like and why it needs to look the way that it does and how it's super important. And that it's two different platforms, right? Like we learned this either in Ignite or it might be an MREA, I don't remember. I think it's actually an Ignite, where it talks about the difference between marketing and prospecting, right? Prospecting's like the physical activity of like going out, reaching out and making that phone call and pulling the person in, where marketing is like you're kind of like doing it behind the scenes. You're attracting people to you and to your brand. So before I get started, I kind of want to ask all of you just to drop in the comments, where are you from? What's your current role? Let's start there. I just want to kind of see where everyone's from and what their current role is with us.
And while they're doing that, I looked it up. Prospect versus marketing is on page 136 of the MREA. So if you guys want to read it, that's where you can find it.
Yeah, it's definitely an Ignite for sure. I remember teaching it, like when I first heard that, I was like, oh, so that's the difference, right? So, okay, Aurora, love it. Agent at Glen, wait, you live in Aurora? Agent at Glen KW office, awesome. Awesome, awesome. Ooh, Naperville, yes. Patty, yes, yes, yes. Love it. Love it, love it. KW Inspire. Oh, welcome from Geneva. I love that little office there. It's not really little, it's so cute. In Lombard. Oh, I used to live, did I used to live there? That was close to Lombard, right? Where I lived?
Yeah.
Yep. Solo agent, Mount Pleasant, South Carolina. Welcome, Terry. South Carolina. I love it. Awesome. Cool.
Thanks.
Cool. All right. So next question I want to ask you guys is, what do you want to take away from this time together? Because listen, I can sit here and talk at you the whole time. As Amy said, this is not a, hey, how do I open up and how do I start an Instagram account and what do I do? This is a, how do I brand myself and market myself effectively? What do you hope to take away from this time together? I want to make sure that I check this off your list and you walk away going, damn, that was good.
Yeah, you're spending the time to be here. So how can we make the most out of your time today?
Okay, but I want to get, on Instagram now, but I want to get a strategy started. Okay, cool. Who else? Don't be shy. Like, PS, my market center in Downers Grove left me when I did this to them. They really didn't, because they always knew like I would always make them talk or share. At least I'm not making you unmute. So just if you can drop in the comments, like, what do you want to take away from this? It's so much easier when it's conversational because I can talk at you and then you're going to go, well, that wasn't helpful and I'm going to move on, right?
Mm-hmm.
strategy.
Daddy said strategies. Gary's social media. So Carrie Ann is a transaction coordinator, and her rainmaker, she said, is Gary. So it says Gary's social media is very stale. I want to make it more fun and exciting and engaging.
Ooh, okay, I just got distracted with Amy Pettit, P-E-T-I-T, P-E-T-T-E-T. Love it. Cool. Okay. Can I want to ask a clarifying question. So Kathy, what does getting a strategy started mean? If you can just unmute for me real quick, you don't have to drop it in the comments, if you don't mind.
What does that mean to you? Getting a strategy.
Hi, it's Kathy. A strategy for me is kind of, I'm on IG now. I have a personal account, and then I have one just for my business. The business one, I really want to, I have about 180 followers on there now, but I want to get it to grow organically and get some really great quality content on there without seeming really super salesy or, hey, I'm a real estate agent, you have to go with me. And you know, I want to do something original and kind of neat and cool.
Yeah, love it. That's totally my jam. And yeah, I love it. Cool. Okay. Original, love it. No salesy. Oh, that's you. Okay. Carrie Ann, tell me, how do you envision making something more? Actually, let me ask a question differently. Why do you feel it's stale? I'm quoting you, stale. That's all right. Connections used.
There she goes.
So we have a system that posts for us automatically, and I would like to get rid of it and do all of the posting myself. So it's a little bit more authentic and organic. And plus, you know, with the market's about to pivot, and so we need to pivot with it. And we are really going to go after our investor clients, and they don't do stuff on social media. So I still want to keep our buyers and sellers like happy and engaged, but I also want to see like maybe there's people out there who are looking to invest but don't know anything about it. And Gary has a degree in that, so he actually went to school for helping investors. So I want him to be able to use that bachelor's degree in a different way. And I just feel like while the posting is consistent, it happens at the same time, our engagement is all over the place, and I know it could be better.
Okay, cool. I love it. I love it.
I have one more thing for you, just because I know Christy's driving, but we've talked a little bit. She's on a team that does a lot of luxury listings, and so their Instagram is much more lifestyle pictures. So how can we get engagement on the lifestyle and kind of translate that to, hey, remember, we're here for you to serve you, and not just post pretty pictures on Instagram.
Well, as you know, I'm very familiar with Patty Wardlow's team. I love and adore them. Christy, I'm so super excited for you. Patty had talked a lot about you while I was there. So yeah, all right, awesome. Let's just dive right in then. I want to talk about, I'm actually just going to share my story in what we do, and then we'll kind of fill in the blanks based on what your guys' needs are, if that's cool. So I want to first start off with, because I'm seeing a lot of strategy talk, strategy. It's all strategy behind the scenes, right? Like you want to make it look as natural as possible, but it's all strategic behind the scenes. So I want to ask you a question. Think of somewhere that you love to shop. So think of that place. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Like when you walk in, what's the feeling that you get? That's a live question too.
Why do you love shopping at that place, right?
Yeah, yeah.
For me, the first thing that comes to mind is a place like Von Maur, and I think of it as somewhat luxurious, but not out of reach.
Okay.
And I don't know what word to use. That kind of a not a minimalist, but a clean look to it. Clean, consistent look.
So think of how that translates then to real estate, right? So that same philosophy that if you like, it's luxurious, it feels luxurious, but affordable, I think is what you're saying, like with it not being out of reach. Think of it on the real estate standpoint of things, that same strategy, right? Like you want to make it feel like people can afford this, people can purchase whatever you're selling, right? But that it's not totally out of reach. So it's the same philosophy. Now I think of like the example that I think of is like Lowe's to Home Depot, right? So Lowe's to Home Depot, like that whole experience for me, like Home Depot seems industrial. It feels like I'm shopping in a warehouse. It doesn't like feel great. Can we mute? Okay, yeah, thanks. Because I'm hearing myself talk and I'm like confused. I'm thinking someone's talking at me. So I think of like Home Depot as like industrial, like warehouse. I don't feel great when I walk in there. I just want to get in, get what I need to get and leave, which is mostly just lawn bags, by the way. I don't shop there. I go to Lowe's for like my home stuff that I need, right? Why do I shop there? Because it's bright, it's airy, it's more organized. I love the colors in there. I just feel better. The energy is better for me. So think of how you can implement those strategies or those like feelings on your social media presence. Now, marketing is all about that, right? It's all about your what you're projecting outwardly. You know how I heard someone else say, oh, it's the market that we're going into. Well, by the way, like the way you're running your real estate business right now, and many of you are supportive roles, you should be running the business in the market that we're going into, not the market that we're in today, because we already know the market's pivoting. Same thing with your social media, right? You've got to be able to put yourself out there in a sense of where are we going? Who do you want to attract? Who are your ideal clients and what do they like to do? So you've got to do a lot of research, right? To understand like, gosh, I forgot her name. Hold on. Carrie Ann, you talked about that your team wants to start focusing on investors, right? So what's the conversation around that? What do they want to know about? What do they want to learn about? What are they not seeing that other agents are doing? So you've got to start building that content. So some of you talked a lot about strategy, and I asked Amy, I said, oh my gosh, if I share my content calendar, will that make their brain sizzle? And I was like, well, she's like, no, you should totally share it. And I'm like, oh, it'll probably make their brain sizzle. I will share with you my content calendar so you guys can see. And by the way, I can't take full credit for it. I have an amazing team behind me that works with all my crazy ideas and implements it. I'm not the implementer, I'm the chaos person. I create the chaos and I have someone else organizing it for me. But I have an amazing team of Amanda, Abby, and now Emily on our Integrity Home Group team that are fabulous with implementing all this stuff. So I'll share that with you so you can see how we organize it. But I want you to really focus in on the messaging, right? Like, what do the images look like? Who is the ideal client you're trying to attract? Get really clear on that. And that's like your first domino. And how do you start building this content and how do you start to strategize, right? So start thinking about what does your ideal client look like? And actually, I'm going to cause you guys to answer that just so you guys can think about it now. I don't want you guys to shelf that. So Carrie Ann, you already answered. So if some of you can just jump in and share, like, who's your ideal client?
If you guys don't know off the top of your head who your ideal client is, think of a transaction you've had that you really loved working with that person.
Yeah.
Tell us what that person's like.
I'm going to pull up.
For me, that is the senior population and then the adult children of seniors. So that's why I struggle a little bit with what to post on Instagram, because is my ideal client even on Instagram?
They may not be, and that's a good point. So what's a great point about that is also understanding all the different social media platforms and how they're used. P.S. Not everybody's on Instagram, but and I know we have this focused around Instagram. Understand the audiences for each: Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, and TikTok now, right? All the audiences are totally different for all of those. So that's why I'm asking you, like, get clear on who is your ideal client and understand that that's a social media platform then you should go after. We primarily are on Facebook and Instagram on purpose. We're kind of playing around a little bit with TikTok, and we are doing LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is more of a business profile where you're sharing more articles, more factual data. They don't want pretty pictures. Instagram is all about beautiful pictures. It's got a feel good, it's got to look good, all that type of stuff. I'm not looking at the comments because I just want to stay focused here. Okay.
Yeah, I was just gonna say we got some more ideal folks in the chat here. So first time home buyers, senior adults that are downsizing, the energy. Stacy said she likes the energy of a first time home buyer, and also young family buying a home for expanding their family, and that's what came through so far.
Cool. So if I can real quick, I'm going to pop through this really quick. And here's the thing, because I know we're limited on time, right? We have like 30 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm available a little longer if you guys want to go longer. Totally up to you.
Okay. So I'm going to what I want to share real quick. And the reason why I said, like, let's see how much time we have, because I'm happy to talk about this with any of you after the fact. If we need to have a one-on-one time to talk through like detail, I just want to share with you like how we took what we were doing and took it to the next level when it comes to like logos and branding. So when we talk about logos and branding, like we have a whole plan around what colors do we use, what fonts do we use, why do we use them, that type of stuff. So let me just share with you this, and I really don't want this to scare you. We built up to this. Like it was not easy getting here. It took 2 years for us to kind of get this. Can you guys see this?
Yes, we can.
Okay, cool.
And Maria, you brought up a good point. You're going to talk about a lot of stuff today, I think, that
Right.
is, up here, and some people are here and they're looking to get there. You don't have to be here tomorrow. This is showing you, where you can work towards, and you just want to do one little thing every day, right? I post today. What do I not like that I can tweak on my next post? Make it better the next time, right?
Yep, you got it. Like, so again, this made my brain sizzle when the girls started pulling this together, because we needed some order to what we were doing, right? Like we started to build it up and people were starting to pay attention, and now we were like, oh gosh, now we're building this brand, and I know what I wanted it to look like, but we actually needed to create basically rules around it so it can make sense as to when we brought other people into our world, that we were all speaking the same language. So mission, vision, values, obviously that's super important. I'm going to get past some of this stuff. It just shares like, who are we? What does this organization look like 5 to 10 years from now? It's obviously having a tagline and a slogan, making sure that you've got all of that. Here's where I want to go though. I want to get to, like, we were very clear with our logos. We were very clear on like, what's our primary logo? What's our secondary logo? How does our logo get used? Because we wanted it to start being recognized by the general public, obviously on social media. So you can kind of see that there, but more importantly, we were testing, this is when we were going through our audit, actually, we were testing different fonts and what it looked like. And most importantly, and it's something that Patty said, we actually wanted this, our age range is like from 25 years old to like 65. So we don't just serve like one small pocket of the market. We wanted to make sure that we are increasing legibility and readability. Like we got that detailed with it. This was so crazy going through determining the fonts and stuff. So again, the only reason I'm sharing this with you is like, think through this. There's a font in Command Designs that, and actually it's this one, the top one, because that's what we started with. It actually is really hard to read on social media posts. So while it's beautiful and it's great because it kind of gives you that script, we actually switched it to something a little more legible. This is where I wanted to get to. So I know Amy pays attention to this because she's watched us on social media. And part of what we've done is created this amazing brand on our social media, and we're very specific with what colors we use. So we have the primary Integrity Home Group colors here that we use. We've also included the Keller Williams colors just because we want to kind of fold those in. But this was us kind of testing different colors to see like what would work. Again, something super simple. You don't need to overcomplicate this. But again, we wanted something beautiful and visual to the eye, because like Patty said, like the store that I think about that I love to shop at, I love to go to West Elm. West Elm is super attractive to me because it's super neutral. The colors are bright. There's this brown color, which by the way, I freaked out when they brought this in and said, we're going to use this brown color in our color palette. It actually works and it's beautiful. So think about that, like think about the colors and stuff that you use. Now, Keller Williams color, I think everyone's from Keller Williams, red is like a really harsh color. And I'm a black and white, like I love black and white. And my girls were like, no, we need to soften it up because that's too harsh on the eyes, right? To do black and white. So I know I'm getting like super in the weeds here on colors, but just the point I'm making here is just be super careful. You want consistency. We're talking Instagram. When people are looking at your grid, they want to look at a beautiful grid of beautiful photos. So make them consistent, keep them consistent, or have one play off the other. If you go to our Instagram account, you'll see like sometimes we do like 2 posts next to each other, which play into one another. And we do that just because we want it to be visually appealing. Okay.
Maria, why don't I pull up your Instagram real
I'm gonna
quick?
stop sharing. Yeah, because there's
Yeah.
too much content on that.
Here we go.
Yeah, go ahead and pull it up.
So here's her team's Instagram page. So this is, look at even the color palette right there. This
Yeah,
is what
so
she's
it's-
talking about. You guys,
yeah,
now
it's-
that you've seen behind the curtain a little bit, right, of the colors, you can see how it ties in to their feed.
So slow down right there. So that middle one, so take a look at that. That was a 2. I love doing, actually go back to the grid. So I love doing like multi-grid posts. So that was a multi-grid post. The testimonials on the left-hand side, the photo of the client is on the right-hand side. And we did that intentionally because we wanted people to we wanted to be attractive, right? Yeah. So when we think of like logos and branding, like scroll, Amy, you'll love that one about the dog, where price is what you pay, value is what you get. The dog has nothing to do with it, but we're, again, what message are we saying to the client, right? Like, what's the story around it? Do me a favor, scroll all the way down to like the beginning of time. I want to show everybody like how much we've grown, because it was not pretty, you guys. Like I literally was just pulling things. Oh gosh, there was a big
Oh
one.
wait, let's talk about this.
Yeah, there was a multi-grid post on me at Christmas. So PS, photos of me, my team always tells me photos of me, videos of me always perform really well. And I like, yeah, not in love with it, but there you go. I just want to show you like where we
Pictures
are.
with people get more engagement, and especially if you can see the whites of their eyes, that's even better.
Yeah, always, 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 always.
So
So
you
I
can
love
see
like,
already that it's changing.
yeah, so you can see how, that's why, oh gosh, that multi-grid. Oh gosh. Yeah, oh gosh, we're not even at the beginning. Oh my God. Okay, well, see, here's where we had no rhythm to it at all. We were just like, okay, what are we doing? We're just posting to post. Colors are all over the place. Fonts are all over the place. Yeah.
You guys can see the growth. And this is what
Yeah.
we're talking about. You don't need to get, oh, there's another grid. You don't need to get to the top tomorrow, right?
No.
It's going to happen over time, and that's fine.
Actually, that brick photo of me like was in Downers Grove. That's funny.
Oh.
Cool. Yeah. So that just kind of shows you like how we've morphed into where we are. Oh my God, this is like when I
It's
first
still going. Oh, there. Now we're at
at
the
the
bottom.
beginning. Like that's the beginning of where we started. We were a hot little mess. So anyway, the whole thought process behind logos and branding is this: just make sure that it's clear, it's concise, your colors like flow, they go together. You want to make it visually appealing. And yeah, so let's jump into content planning, because I really want to make the most of our time here, because content planning, and then the next piece of it is making it super personal. So a lot of people really struggle with content planning. I'll tell you, you have to have a plan and you need to work the plan. Always, always, always. I'm always thinking about content. I know people are watching me and paying attention to me on social media, on all platforms. So I'm really purposeful with what we share. Here's what I always say too, is the audio matching the visual, right? So is what I'm saying matching what I'm posting, okay? So if you're on my personal social media, my audio is not matching my visual, because I've been getting a little aggressive about the market and that type of thing, but I know my audience there, right, is different. So on your social media, your public outward facing business pages, make sure your audio matches your visual and that your story is the same. All right. Is it okay if I share my social media calendar just so people?
Yeah, go for it. I know, while she's pulling that up, I use this example a lot, that I've seen this ad for some meal planning, meal prep company. I don't remember exactly which one, but there's an ad that is floating around Facebook, and they're talking about, you know, how you don't have to go to the grocery store, and they have the freshest vegetables and blah, blah, blah. The picture in the ad is like a bowl of fruit. And I'm like, this, you're talking about vegetables and you're showing fruit, right? The audio is not matching the visual. So that's where you want to make sure it all matches up. That one's a more literal example. I just thought it was kind of funny when I saw the ad.
It's totally true though. Think about it though. Your audio needs to match your visual. Like I was thinking about preparing for this class, right? Like how else can I explain that? Your audio needs to match your visual. Okay, so here's a quick peek at the chaos behind the scenes. Like this is, as Amy said, behind the curtain, right? So Amanda on our team, who's super detail oriented, mapped this out because we needed to create a strategy behind this. So what we do is we have content pillars. So this is something that you can do immediately. We're going to talk at the end, like a few things that you guys can implement and put into action. We kind of have a little bit of a plan around what do we post on what day. So Monday, Tuesday is like not a great day for us. We also measure the analytics. When you have a business page, we measure the analytics, and Tuesdays are just not a great day that performs for us. So Mondays, it's always buyer posts. Wednesdays is like some sort of promotion, and you can kind of see like what the content is there. Thursday, it's lifestyle, design tips, home maintenance, holiday recipe of the month. Friday is always a seller content, whether it's a behind the scenes, a just listed, just sold. We're going to talk about that in a second. A local, and then we go Saturdays, we always do like a local love or philanthropy, like some local business we want to support, that type of thing, or fun around town, like what's going on around Cleveland over the weekend. So those are our content pillars. So we do that. So we kind of have a high level view of like, what's our strategy? And then we do pull like filler content. And actually, I have to give this credit to Amy. Amy shared when I was in the EDP market centers, curated social is a great resource for you guys to pull content from, or content ideas. So initially we used to pull the content from there. But what we now have done, because we've gone through this branding audit, is we take it and we change it into, you know, obviously, so it's in line with our brand. But curated social is a great resource. Keeping Current Matters is a great resource. Hate to say it too. People that you're following, like some influencers that you're following, maybe it's a real estate agent that you know is doing really well and killing it, and you like what they're doing, like start paying attention to what they're doing and just start creating a folder. So what I did on my iPhone between me and Amanda is we have a shared folder, because we both have iPhones. We can share, like we save photos of like, hey, here's some inspiration, so we can obviously build off of that. So here's
and I think, Maria, I think you brought up a great point there, especially with the curated social. Like they do have free content, you can sign up and pay for stuff, but even if you just go out there and you get an idea, it doesn't mean you have to use their exact post. You can change the coloring and the fonts to match your branding and make it your message, right? But at least then you're not trying to come up with every piece of content from scratch, you know, on the spot. They've got some ideas for you.
Yeah, you're not starting blindly. At least you're starting from something that might be a great like jumping off point. So just think of like, how can you implement it in your business? But regardless, like if you look at this, I just showed you our branding guideline, right? Or our audit that we went through. None of this stuff like lines up, right? Branding wise, some of it does, some of it doesn't. But these are some ideas that we've already pulled. So we know to pull off of it, pull off the shelf if we don't have anything to post. So to go back to May, here's our May. So we've got like the photo in here. We've got what's the topic, what's the content, draft, post, copy, like what it could look like. And then I jump in there and put my 2 cents in there of like, look, this is what it needs to say or what it should say. And then we also track like where it gets posted. But I just want to show you like the level of detail that it takes. And some of you are like, oh my God, I cannot do that. There's no way that I can get to that. We didn't get here initially either. It just grew so much that we needed to somehow organize it. Now for June, we've simplified it a little bit more because it got a little crazy. So this kind of shows you there's that double post that I told you, or that I showed you. This is this week actually. So this is like live. This is changing. This isn't happening in 2 days. We're not posting anything today. Yesterday was this post. So yeah, and then we're mapping out like the next week. Okay, so I'm gonna stop sharing because that's like a lot, I know, and you're probably like, oh my God. If there's one thing I want you to take away from that is just the content pillars. Make sure that you're really purposeful with what your content pillars are, and think of, here's the other thing too, is think of like, why are you sharing it? So I just want to make sure that you're gonna check and make sure if there's any questions. I'm not looking. Okay.
Yeah, there is one came in that, well, it's two halves.
Yeah.
I know you mentioned at the beginning, you have people that are on the team that help with this. Is somebody dedicated to social media? Yeah.
Yes. So, yeah, so I have two folks. They also do other things. Remember, the creative mind, the creative side of the brain is not very detailed. So my detail person is the one that created that spreadsheet. Okay, they created that spreadsheet, pulled all the detail, pulled all the content. My creative person is the one that did the brand audit, the colors, the what's most impactful, what's most powerful, that type of thing. So yes, and they're not doing it full time, just so you know, they're not doing it full time.
And then the second half of the question was, did you do the branding audit on your own, or did you work with somebody to help your team with that?
It was my team. It was my team that did it. So my amazing team of Amanda and Abby, Abby primarily drove that brand audit because Amanda and I and the team basically just failed forward with it all, right? And just created it. I'm going to tell you like where my slice of the pie was and all of it, but I knew what colors I liked. But Abby, who's very much like gone to school for this stuff, like understands it, did the brand audit like from a fresh perspective. Like that was her first project when she started with us of, okay, go in and do a brand audit. She went to school for this, graphic design. She understands like how all those colors flow and all that type of stuff. I have your permission to share like what we're doing, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Please do.
So in a nutshell, and I'm not going to get into detail totally just yet, but if you want more information on how to get started with this stuff, we're talking about probably offering this as a service to agents. Like we realize that this is a lot and people may not know where to start or how to get it started. So we want to bring on agents that and offer it as a service to agents that are on board with us taking over that whole strategy and helping you guys really make it impactful. So more to come on that. If Amy, if you do me a favor, just drop my email in the so people can email me if they've got questions. That'd be great. I want to cover two more things because I know we're a little over on time. Then I want to open it up for Q&A. So the content planning is super important. When I say have a plan and work the plan, I showed you like high level view, like where we got to. That's not where we started. So just start somewhere, plan out what you're posting when you're posting it, and just be prepared for it. Because when you have, not that email.
Oh, yeah, I just realized I copied the wrong one.
I don't use my
ignore that, guys.
I don't use that email. So have a plan, right? Just create a Google sheet to start somewhere. It's fine. But more importantly, be purposeful. And this is like the kicker, right? Be purposeful with your messaging. And this is what sets me apart, I know, from others. And I'll tell you why. Want to know what my biggest pet peeve is? And we're recording and I'm going to share it. And I don't care. I loathe when I see just listed, just sold, under contract, multiple offers, just listed, just sold. Like, let me ask you this, like, what does that tell you? What story does that say behind the scenes?
I made money.
Who cares?
Look at me, look at me.
Yeah, you and everybody else. Like in real estate, everybody has like, I mean, okay, how many real estate agents do you know? And I've been doing this 20 years, so I can say it. They thump their chest and say, look at me, look what I've done, look at what I've done, just listed, just sold, just listed, just sold. So the problem with that is the perception to, like, I always think about my audience, right? Like, I don't care if other real estate agents are paying attention to what I'm doing, like, that's awesome. But I'm more so speaking to my clients and my potential clients. So to me, it's who cares about any of that? Like, I care more about what's the story behind the scenes. What's the story that they're not getting, right? So how, you're right, it is, I am such a relationship person. It is not transactional. 100% it's not transactional. As a matter of fact, we are backlogged with our just listed and just sold posts because we're being super intentional on all the other stuff. So my biggest thing on how you can change your social media presence right now is make it super personal. This is 100% a relationship business. Make it super personal. Remember how we went through, she showed you my grid, like we started to identify that pictures of me and videos of me were the traction on that was so much greater. And I did not want my picture. I didn't want pictures of me. I didn't want videos of me. But they performed so well. Like we started to look at the analytics of them. When you have a business page, you can look at the analytics. Like I could care less how many people like and comment on mine. I shouldn't say that I do because I'm a high I and I do care. But running it like a business, I look at the analytics, like how much traction am I actually getting? So we knew pictures of me, pictures of our clients, those got so much more traction than like my local loves that I just wanted to like love on local businesses. Like those you would think get more, they actually don't. Like photos of clients, photos of me, me around town, like doing other things, like that gets the most traction. So think of it from this standpoint. What's the story you're telling? Start telling the story of like the stuff that people don't know. Like for instance, we've been doing a lot of VA loans, right? So I share like the VA story, right? Or I'll get a picture of the client, like on Veterans Day, we had a closing like real close to it and he was a VA. So I got a picture of him in uniform and we told that story, right? So that was really powerful. So I've been doing a lot of talking. Let me ask you just real quick. I just want to kind of take your pulse. How do you think you can pivot your social media presence and make it a little more personal? I want to ask you guys that. And I'm going to look at the comments here.
I'm going to hire your people.
Yeah, they're pretty amazing. I know a lot of the conversation on the front end was like strategy. There's so much strategy conversation behind the scenes. It was painful at first. I mean, we all had different ideas on how we wanted to position it, but then we all realized that like, let's just test it out and try it out, right?
Mhm.
So my girl right now, and Amanda and I are kind of like, oh my God, what's happening? Abby, we've given Abby permission to take over our social media for June. So literally I have not been involved other than, hey, this closing didn't happen or this closing is happening kind of a thing. But we're testing right now in June, just see like what happens. Just as the real estate market's pivoting, so social media, it constantly is. And we're doing reels. Like I never thought that I'd be doing a reel. I couldn't wrap my head around what even a reel was. So, oh, Amy, that's you asking. So I'm gonna just kind of slow down and stop for a minute. I just want to understand. Let's just dive in a little deeper on anything that you guys want more information on, or let's maybe talk a little bit about how you build that strategy. You guys tell me what you need. They're all quiet. See, this is what I didn't want. I didn't want their brains to sizzle too much that they didn't talk to me.
The processing.
I think I agree with you that you need to be purposeful with the message. I think what I need to work on is personalizing that, knowing what I want that message to be, and then time blocking so that I can make it look the way I want it to.
Yeah. So listen, there's always a person. What does it say? Like when you have a gap in your business, right? There's always a person that you're missing in your life. And it might be a person for you, Patty, but the reality is that your story is your story. So it's why I started this conversation on the front end. Like think about your ideal client. Think about your ideal shopping experience. Like, why do you love it? And who are you trying to attract? Because that's the content that you've got to build around that, right? So I know who my ideal client is. And actually, you know, what's funny is I was talking to one of my lenders. We were a big sponsor at an event this weekend. You'll see it on our social media. But my lender came to me and it was awesome because we just have such a great relationship. And I told him, I said, oh yeah, I sent you another client, you know, whatever. And he's like, oh, they're golden. Like you send me like golden buyers. Like, where do you find them? Or he didn't say where you find them. I said, I don't know where I find them. He goes, well, you know what? He actually said, he goes, you worked really hard to attract those types of buyers. And I was like, ding, 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 it's working. Like, so what I'm doing, right? I am marketing and branding myself to the client that I want. And that's who I'm attracting to my world. And by the way, like I think one of the comments was, how do you lead gen on social media? Here's the deal. You have to play the long game with social media.
Mhm.
It is not, do not expect you're going to start posting and business is going to come to you. The content lives there. And I'll tell you what, like people vet us out all the time on going to our social media. They vet us out like crazy and that content lives there. That's why I say to you, got to be really super purposeful on what and how you say it and what does it look like, because it lives there. Like you went, I mean, Amy scrolled down to the beginning of time for us on Instagram. And when we launched it, yeah, so people will vet you out all the time. So yeah.
Yeah, and you got to think about, you know, a lot of people I see, this is kind of along the lines of the whole just listed, just sold conversation, is I see a lot of people posting a very broad text with whatever picture they're doing. And are you looking to buy or sell, right? So that they can hit everybody. But
Right.
in reality, that's hurting you. You really want to talk to the few people directly that are going to line up with your ideal client. Because when you talk to somebody more one-on-one, even if it's not a one-on-one conversation like you and me in a room talking, if
Right.
you create a post and it has the feel of I'm talking to one person, it's really going to connect with that one person and make them want to either feel like they already know you or make them want to reach out to you because they have that connection, versus everything being like, oh, are you looking to buy or sell? Oh, we just closed and, you know, it was in this town. Like, yes, we want people to know we're in the town, but how did you really serve that client on a high level? What
Yeah.
did you do that stuck out, right? That what's their story? What's something that they went through that somebody else might also be experiencing that now knows that you can handle that for them as well?
Can you go back and pull up my Instagram real quick? I want to tell a
Yeah.
story. I want to just show everyone an example on where I could have told multiple stories. It just got posted like yesterday or something. Yeah, actually that one, the off the market. Can you pull that up? So I just want to share with you, like I could have told multiple stories around this sale. First of all, I'm going to look at everyone's faces when I say this. P.S. I showed them, you ready for this? 77 houses since the beginning of January. Like I literally was freaking out. It was crazy, crazy, crazy. They were all over the place. Their search area was huge and it was very stressful. I could have told that story like every other real estate agent, like, oh, we finally found the one, right? Like the reality is that the story that I told, and this is very relevant in this light or tight inventory market, is sometimes you got to make a concession, right? So I said, how exciting for Jeff and Amy who planted their roots in Cleveland from Fort Wayne, Indiana. What I'm saying there is we do relo. we help you relocate. We help people from out of state. Number one, that's the number one thing. Then while this gem is a diamond in the rough, what am I saying there? It wasn't perfect. It wasn't exactly what they wanted. They had to pivot their dreams from a move-in ready home to being able to personalize it with their own touches. So what I'm saying there is be ready for renovations. You're not going to find the perfect home. And guess what? Like this home structurally is amazing. And inside, by the way, is gorgeous, but they're super specific with what they want. Now, this was a custom built home and they want to come in and make all their own touches to it. I could have just said, just sold, whatever, but I wanted to tell a little bit of a deeper story on this one. Go back to the grid. I want to just pull up another one where I keep going. Okay, go to breaking ground real quick. So because of my new construction background, I also do new construction, new construction expert, right? So this one, by the way, like the house is well under framing. When did we post this? I don't even know, May 21st. By the time we had posted this house was well under framing, it was getting, it was a lot further along. But with this one, the reason why I wanted to share this was, listen to this, what message I said here. When Richard and Jane first met Maria to explore buying a home, they discovered that I had the knowledge to explore building a new home on land they already owned. So what I'm saying to people there is, by the way, I'm a new construction expert and I can help you find a way to build a home on your property, right? So then we're excited to finally see this one get started. Do you own your own land or consider finding land that fits your needs? Because again, I'm trying to pitch the new construction background. Does that make sense? You can stop sharing now. Does that make sense to you guys? Yeah. So it's the story that you're telling behind the scenes that most people don't know. Like just listed, just sold, under contract. Next. Tell the story from a different light. Okay. Your brains are probably sizzling, right?
I see the wheels spinning.
I know. And I want you to tell me what you're thinking, or tell me how I can help you maybe kind of connect the dots and implement, like just take one thing away. I have 3 things I'm going to share with you, but I want to hear from you and what and how I can help you get started.
Maria, it's Christy. Sorry, I can't be on camera. I just wanted to say that I was so looking forward to this conversation and so happy to be a part of it. And we'll definitely go watch the replay. But this is so good because, you know, Amy and I meet and we talk about all this, but to have the team hear feedback from you as a successful agent that they know is so powerful in the messaging that you're saying. And, you know, not just posting the house, posting a message about it, not doing the same thing all the time. So this has been incredibly powerful, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this conversation.
So Christy, you know, I love Patty Wardlow, and I'm
Yes.
coming to Chicago. We're recording and I shouldn't be sharing this. Coming to Chicago, and I'm actually going to meet with Patty. So I'd love for you to be a part of that conversation. But
Oh,
I
yes.
actually want to grab a book that I want you guys to grab. So give me one moment here.
Okay.
There's 2 books, and I probably shared these as a team leader. So I know
Yeah.
these 2 books are what got me started. Story Branding 2.0. This is where it talks about how to build the story around what you're doing. And then Magnetic Marketing is another great one. Both of these like got me to wrap my head around like how to do it, what to say. I knew I was doing it, but it just kind of put it into words, if that makes sense. So
Yeah. 1 million followers is another really good one.
yeah, I had that one too somewhere, but those 2 were like at the top that I was just looking at. So, but yeah, your toughest challenge, Christy, because I know your team is going to be
Yes.
what's the story, and reeling in all those people to give you the content that you need to be able to post it.
Yep.
Yes.
Right.
And that's the nice thing about your spreadsheet. I like how you have kind of that column where I can guide them, but then have them fill in their story, the thing that they know.
Yeah. So so you understand like the system around that is that comes to me on Friday.
Mhm.
So it's all filled out Friday. I like the weekend to like look at it, review it Saturday, Sunday. Monday morning, I'm having a meeting with my marketing team and just fine tuning anything that we need to fine tune. Also, for those of you like, and I'm talking specifically to Christy because I don't know I know Patty's team. We also use Leverage. Yeah, got it. We also use Leverage for posting sake. So we use Hootsuite, we'll use Facebook Scheduler. There's scheduling systems out there that will help you, that you can just kind of sit down for an hour, schedule it all out because you have it all created, and then you're not doing it live every day.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, and grab my email. Like I said, I'm happy to dive deeper and share with you guys whatever you guys need. So
Amy, I'm driving, so will you text me the books and her email when you get a chance?
Yep, I can do that.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm coming there. I'm coming there for a mastermind end of the month. I think I'm coming there actually Friday because I've got friends and stuff there. I'm trying to get with some of your folks 24th through the 27th.
Okay.
Like free, if you will. And then 27th evening through the 29th, I'm in a mastermind, so I'm not available, but just in case you want to. So
yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. Happy to help. And happy to jump on a call with any of you anytime. Like, I know this is a lot, but just understand it took us 2 years to get here. So, anyone else?
What were your biggest takeaways today, you guys?
Oh, good one.
Amy, you and I talk about this all the time. Just, doing one thing every day to just move your plan forward. So it's always good to hear that other people get overwhelmed like me, because I feel like I am not a marketing brain, but I want to be. So this was very good for me to sit in on. Thank you.
What was,
Thank you for
can I
saying
ask,
that.
oh, can I ask a deeper question on that? What was
Yeah.
good about it for you? Just so it makes me better, obviously, for future.
Well, I mean, you kept saying I'm probably sizzling your brain, but not really. Like you made me like have a million more questions and ideas. And my biggest thing is always like, where do I get the content from? So hearing like, and Amy and I have talked about that because I meet with her weekly as well. And she's helped me like totally automate Gary's business. And this is the next step is marketing. So I've been feeling so overwhelmed. So that just to see that you started one place and moved to like branding and things like that. Like I want to be able to do that because as a transaction coordinator for Gary, I want to be able to offer my services to other people who might be struggling at some point, because I know we've felt lost for a long time. So if I could help one person and like pay it forward, that's my ultimate goal. So
Yeah.
it was just really cool to see how where you
Love
started
that.
and where you got to.
Yeah, so thank you. And listen, it's still work in progress. Like it's a pretty hot mess behind the scenes still, I feel, right? But the branding audit really was the launch of, okay, now we're getting really serious about the way that we look and feel, right? We were already kind of doing it, but we didn't really have a system around it. And I think that that was the most important piece of this, is that really getting really clear. It's just like your rainmaker, right? Like they get really clear on their goals. They know what they want to accomplish, and then they create the GPS around it. It's the same thing. Like get really clear on who your audience is, what do you want it to look like, and then create the business around that. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And you guys, I brought Maria on today because I did want to give you that big picture look, because I know that she's been working on this and been very purposeful around it for quite a while now. And I just want to remind everybody that like you don't need to compare yourself and your social media accounts where you are today to hers. You are 2-3 years behind her. You won't be at the same spot that her team is tomorrow, and that's okay. But now you know what to do to take the steps to get to that level, right? Have some goals. She can be your new mentor.
Yeah, I'm happy. I dropped my phone number in there too. So if you want to shoot me a text, happy to jump on a call with you and help you through that for sure. Like I don't want you guys stressing. It was not easy getting here. Most important thing, in the 3 things that I want to share with you that you should implement right away is 1, just create a quick, simple plan. Like here are my content pillars. Like this is what I want to focus on. So create the plan. 2, leverage content sources. So curated social, keeping current matters, like wherever you want to find some content, just leverage content sources. And the 3rd and the most important one is please make it personal. Sometimes too, take it beyond real estate. Okay. Take it beyond real estate and showcase you and your team. Like who are you outside of real estate? Because those things matter more than how many deals your people are doing. Like it does, like that doesn't matter at all. Okay. Was this impactful for you guys today? Yeah.
Yeah, I see nods and thumbs ups and clapping.
Yay. Good. I'm super excited. Happy to be a resource for you guys. You've got my email, you've got my phone number. Go make it happen and just build that brand.
Yeah, and when Maria's team is ready to launch that new service, I'll make sure to include it in my weekly newsletter as well, so you guys can get in on that.
Yeah, currently what we're going to do is we're going to kind of take an audit of like what are everybody's needs? Like what do you need? Because we're kind of building it around you and what you need. Like I'm not sure what everyone needs. I think I know. I was a team leader for a little over 5 years, and I helped a lot of people grow amazing businesses. And I know it's super stressful. So we want to be a resource and make it super helpful. And then also, like Carrie Ann, you said, like, I want to be a part of it. Well, we want to make sure that people are a part of it. And then we're just kind of helping you, right? We're being the leverage to kind of help you execute it. So good. Well, thank you. It was an honor seeing you all and spending some time with you today. Thank you so much, Amy, for inviting me. And again,
Yes.
I'll see you guys out there.
Thank you for joining. And just a quick reminder, this will be live on my channel on Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. So you guys can always come back and take more notes. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you.
And thank you, everybody, for attending.
Bye, guys.
Bye.